crackers.
When I found out that we were going to be giving a speech based on an interview on someone within our chosen career field, I could think of no one better than Vanessa Larson. I worked under her last year at Wynn Academy, and this year she's the head director of SPED at Glacial Hills Elementary. She is so well versed in all the nuances of working with SPED students and dealing with tough situations and behaviors that I thought she'd be the very best to learn from. I called her and asked if she would mind if I interviewed her for this project. She said she'd be very happy to answer any questions I had. We picked Saturday and I went over to her house. We sat at her dining room table and talked all things SPED as I took notes on my laptop. Vanessa's education consists of an early childhood education degree from SMSU from 2001, a K-12 emotional behavioral disorder degree from St. Cloud University in 2007, an early childhood special ed degree from SMSU in 2014, and she is currently working on her LD licensure from SMSU. Right now in her job, Vanessa currently writes and manages IEPs for the special ed kids at her school. She works mainly with K through 3, and she monitors and deals with behaviors. She's the go-between between school staff and parents and keeps them updated. In the interview, Vanessa shed a lot of light on SPED teaching. She entered SPED because of the shortage of SPED teachers and her passion for special education. She emphasized that the building of trusting relationships through really getting to know the kids and listening to them is of the utmost importance. Through SPED teaching, she has learned to explain herself very well, especially working with the younger SPED students as they need that concrete black and white. She says face-to-face communication is always best, though communication in any form is necessary at times, from phone calls, emails, and letters. It is important in meetings to stay on track and have an agenda to keep everyone on the same page. And communication is absolute key in working with SPED, as team sizes differ. You can have psychologists, parents, students themselves, social workers, foster parents. At one point, she said, at Wynn Academy, she had 6 physical people in the room, 2 on a phone call, and 1 on the television monitor. You have to be both a speaker and a listener. You have to answer questions and ask them. If you're the only one speaking, you're not working as part of a team. Listening is more important because you can learn a lot about the child you're working with. You hear the stories of what's going on at home, and that can help you understand some of their school behaviors. She says, I chime in when needed at a meeting. We are a team, so I should not be the only one talking. So when I am working with SPED kids in the meeting, if I find that I'm the only one talking, then I'll know that I need to focus on being more a part of the team instead of being central. You should always communicate expectations to students and follow through with both incentives and consequences. This again goes into the trusting relationship. If they know that what you say is what you mean, then they can learn to trust you. If you tell them there will be a consequence and there isn't, next time they're not going to believe you. She says, patience is key. Success doesn't happen overnight. It's a process. Children all learn differently, come from different backgrounds, and sometimes don't even know themselves. Be patient with them and the process. And everything will fall into place, sometimes faster than others. Interviewing Vanessa definitely got me thinking. The key thing about working in SPED is communication. Communication with your students and their teams. Most of the communication done is on a one-on-one basis. The things I've learned in this class, like maintaining confident body posture, smiling, and making eye contact, can all help to establish the credibility with my students. I may not be speaking in front of a large crowd, but I will have an audience, and a very important one at that. I feel like I will make a great SPED teacher because what seems to lie at the core of it is compassion. Listen to your students, be consistent and fair, be supportive, and I have people like Vanessa to help guide me. I really feel like asking Vanessa to offer the best piece of advice she could was the best possible question I could have asked her. She had to think about it for a while, but she finally said, with persistence, anything is achievable. That's what SPED is, not giving up on a child, no matter how complicated it is. Be persistent and achieve the impossible.